Hey guys, it's Brennan Kimono. I hope you're all having a great Wednesday. So in today's video, I thought it would be very interesting to walk you guys through some photos I had taken last February of a Rite Aid that was closing. So I live up here in Michigan, and I think two stores closed in Michigan State. And a lot of these Rite Aids that closed, it wasn't because of the Walgreens Rite Aid merger. It had to do with the real estate of where these pharmacies were located. The one near my house, that was the situation. And I had went and saw a manager and asked her hey, what the heck is going on? Because I remember walking through the Rite Aid and just looking around, and it just kept getting weirder and weirder. Sometimes you feel like you're in the Twilight Zone. So I posted this video last February when this actually happened here. But I know that a lot of people, your Rite Aids are closing end of the month or in the next couple of weeks. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about, what I have done in the past when a store that I really enjoy shopping at closes, and how do you proceed from there? How do you move on from your Rite Aid closing? Because a lot of us get a lot of barn burner deals at that said store. And what is plan B when Candyland is closed? And I do have some tips for you guys, but I just thought it would be really cool to go through these photos that I had shot. And basically the manager at this one location, we were really friendly, and she was the kind of lady who would always tell me when things were on sale or if she had more clearance stuff. And it was just a really good Rite Aid to shop at. And it was the kind of store that if you wanted to do 15 transactions for a freebie or whatever, they would actually process all of it. And they were very friendly, very coupon friendly. And the store subsequently closed. I think it was right across the street from a Walgreens, and the traffic between the two stores, when they are that in proximity, I don't know why they have two pharmacies right next door to each other like that, but I don't know, they just decided to close. And it had something to do with the zoning of the store and the property of where it was located. As it was told to me, it was something about whatever they were paying, it got doubled, and they just, whoever was the proprietor of the Rite Aid decided to close it. And there was a lot of employees, part-timers at the store, and they were all very nice. And I felt really bad for them. And a lot of these ladies who lived in this rural country area, they were saying to me they didn't really have options to travel 30-40 minutes for another job working in retail. Because when you work in retail, it's not you're making bank. A lot of these retail workers are doing this part-time. So to work at a Rite Aid was fantastic because they get store discounts and that sort of thing. But it just was really difficult for a lot of them because they were I don't know what I'm going to do next. And I felt really bad, and I listened to a lot of them. One manager who was super friendly with me, she gave me a timeline of dates. She's this is when it's going to be 70%. This is when it's going to be 90%. So when I had walked in to shoot these photos and the little clips of videos that I had for this one, I think it was February the 25th. And I went back in March because she told me a certain date in March that everything would be 70 or 90%. And I just wanted to see what they would have left. And the store had closed earlier than that. So that's something you might have to expect, that if your store is under the sort of situation where they're going to be closing, the timeline that they're presenting to you might not be the timeline that's actually accurate. It might be sped up considerably. So, it's very, very unfortunate. And I felt terrible for a lot of the employees who worked at this one location, because a lot of these ladies were super coupon friendly. If you wanted to do a bunch of transactions, they would do it with a smile and, just really good customer service. Now, the eerie thing when I had walked through the store last February, because I think last February, not a lot of stores were getting cleared out like this, but what was told to me was all the stuff was going back to a warehouse, to a Walgreens. And I had seen stickers on the containers, heading back to Walgreens. Because I think there's a couple distribution centers that are just, everything's going back to them. So they were just packing everything up, and there was very little at 70 or 90%. And the manager told me that too. But I still wanted to go back in there and at least shake the hands of some of the employees and thank them for, being so nice. But I didn't even have that opportunity because the store had closed before schedule. Who knows, maybe they offered them more money to get everything packed up and ready to go. Possibly, maybe. I'm thinking yes. But it was just a really eerie feeling to know where everything was at one point in time. It was a very full and stocked store. To see less and less items, and just bare shelves. It just didn't look like the normal kind of a store, and really, really sad too. And my heart went out to a lot of these employees and their families, because, you know, if you live in a little tiny town and you have this job, you know, it's not a bad place to work at. They do treat their employees pretty good at Rite Aid. So it's just like, it was just, I felt really bad for them, you know, just sad times. And I think the best thing you can do if you're in this situation is just listen to these employees talk and what their plans are, and, you know, what they're telling you why the store is closing, and just be sympathetic and listen. I think sometimes in this situation, that's the only thing you can do. But I think the numbers, if I remember off the top of my head, and please don't quote me on any of this, but I think it was when the merger was happening between the two pharmacies, and Walgreens didn't buy all of them. They only bought like a portion of the pharmacies. It was, if the numbers are correct in my mind, I think it's just 1,000 plus Rite Aid pharmacies are closing, and there are certain states that are just like all of their pharmacies are going to be gone. And I know that lots of ladies in Jersey are losing their stores. I think Ravi too was mentioning that. And I know Michelle was talking, she's been showing videos too about her stores closing. And you could hear it in her voice, like she's really sad. And for many, many years, that was her store. And, you know, to just, for everything to be gone, that would be like if every Walgreens here closed for me, because I love to shop there, you know, it'd be like, or every Walmart would, it's just kind of like a very eerie feeling that you walk into a store, you know where absolutely everything is. You go there on Sunday to get certain deals, and then like this, guys, everything's like missing. And you're like, wait, what? Am I in some sort of like Stephen King movie? Like, it's just a very eerie thing. And to some of these shoppers who do YouTube videos, I feel really bad for them, because they, you know, love these stores. They shop there for a reason, and then for everything just to be, it's like a rug being pulled from you. It's really unfortunate, and it's out of all of our control. But some of these photos, guys, I mean, it's just, I'll just let the slides keep playing and I'll keep talking. It's just, it's very disheartening. That's the only way I can put it. And, you know, there was a golden era at Rite Aid back in the day, like 2010, 11, 12, even 13, where every week you could get like, you know, hundreds of dollars of stuff for free. And it was like endless deals, endless deals, endless deals, especially when they have the up bucks. So if you're an old school couponer, you know what I'm talking about, but like you could just get so much stuff. Now they have some limitations, but back in the golden era, like you could just get tons and tons and tons of stuff, and it was just like fantastic. So in Michigan, I know that they closed down, as I said earlier, I think like 2 stores, and it is what it is. And it didn't have anything to do with the Walgreens and Rite Aid merger. It had to do with like real estate and zoning, as I was told. And, you know, I've asked a couple managers too, and there's some managers here that are like district managers, so they're in charge of like 12 stores, know a ton of stuff, and some of them I'm quite friendly with too, these district managers, and they can help you quite a bit too. So if you ever become friendly with like the big boss, that's not a bad thing, guys. Suck up. So, you know, if your store is in fact closing, what I'm going to recommend is, it's not the end of your couponing journey. Not at all. What you have to do is figure out in your town, if you have another store, if you have a Kroger, if you have a Dollar General, if you have a Walgreens, a CVS, Walmart, you know, there's a lot of great stores where you can get deals. And I think that it sucks that you're losing your Honey Hole, your Rite Aid great store, but there's always ways to reinvent yourself, and you just got to figure out how to do that. You got to do your homework, study the new stores, the new coupon policies, show up in said pharmacy, be friendly with the cashiers, say, hey, I like couponing. I'm going to be in here a lot as of my store just closed, and, you know, hey, nice to meet you. Just be friendly. Just be kind. If you're funny, crack a couple jokes. People like that. Or even talk about the weather, even with a smile and being positive. That often goes a really long way. And, you know, this isn't the end of it. Any great couponer, you can always reinvent yourself. You can always find new deals, and this isn't the end of the line. So I know a lot of you are like super bummed, super disappointed. It sucks, but there have been many, many changes in couponing. If you've been around for a while, such as me, I've been around forever. Like, I think back in 2014, Kroger stopped doubling coupons. So if you had a coupon $2 or less, Kroger would double it in 2014, and then they stopped that. But ladies still found out a different deal and another way to, you know, get hot stuff for cheap with, you know, they have their mega sales. There's always 100 different ways to it, and you just have to get creative. Think about a different store in your town. If you have like $15 Generals, maybe that's your new store. If you have like 17 Walgreens, maybe that's your store. I would absolutely pick a store that it's plentiful in your area, and just try and stay positive. And hopefully this video was helpful, and I hope you guys have also enjoyed some of these stills. I'll tell you again, when I was walking through the store, it felt like a bomb had went off in the store. It was just really, really surreal. So that's it for this video, guys. As always, stay positive, and I'll talk to you in my next one.